really want to hurt you. I just want to bash your face in. Our story will be on the 6 o'clock news, and I'm going to make your murder look like suicide. Now, Marie says that since all of this started, her husband has dragged her down a flight of stairs, has had the cops called on him at least 14 times, and last month she says he smashed her on the side of the head, and she has proof. Take a look.
In the past year, Ron has said to me that he's wanted to smack me.
You're a terrible mother.
I'm a terrible mother, really.
Ron says that we're going to be on the 6 o'clock news. What is he planning in his head?
Don't lie.
I'm begging you to please. I don't want to turn.
You're lying.
Let's just turn these things off and go.
You're lying.
We were in an argument. He asked me to turn on the recorder to my camera, and he wanted me to record the whole thing.
What do you want? Do it. Do what you want, Marie. Call the cops, punch my face in.
Are
what
you
do you
serious?
Want?
I'm not going
Watch
to
what her
punch
face looks like as she
anybody.
hears.
The fight started to progress,
I gotta call somebody, man. Come on. This is gonna get me mad.
and then Ron came at me.
Give me my phone. Give me my phone right here.
He grabbed the phone from me, hit me on side of the head.
Give me my phone.
Just stop that.
Give me my phone.
In my head, I was thinking, I can't believe you just did that to me.
You just attacked me.
I did not.
Yes, you did. It's on the phone. It's on video.
And then again, he turned around and started to come after me.
Get out of here! Oh! No! 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 Get out of here! Get out of here!
I don't know what he was going to do to me.
No! No!
I was afraid for my life.
Marie says that things are so bad that this past weekend, Ron wrote the word kill on the bathroom mirror, and she says it scared her to death.
I'm not interested in your phone, hon.
Okay.
Whatever you're going in your phone,
Okay,
why don't you go upstairs and go to bed with your daughter, hon? That's
because
that's what I need
to do. I saw the word kill written on my mirror. I was horrified.
Like you wrote kill on the mirror.
Huh?
Just nobody else wrote kill on the mirror.
Your
My
daughter's
hand-
upstairs going to bed.
Yeah.
I'm just waking up at 4:30, babe. Starting
put
my day.
my
I'm
hand
4
next
hours
to it.
before work to wake up. Get upstairs.
I tried to talk to him about it, and he went into a rage.
Shut up. She's not sleeping.
Yeah.
You want your kid? Go away.
You hit those cameras.
Hey,
You're being
please
sued.
go away. I
You'll
woke
be
up at
sued.
4:30. I just went to bed with you. I didn't touch your phone. Kill, you're nuts. I want my first cup of coffee. Go away from me.
I'm not nuts.
Go away.
I stayed up all night with Stella on my lap to make sure she was okay, and to make sure that he wasn't going to do anything to us.
Call 911. If there's kill and I touched your phone, please call 911.
No.
Please, Marie. Please call it again. Make it 16 times.
I'm terrified of being locked in the house with him.
Get away from me. I just woke up. I don't want to wake up 4 hours and with you.
We put cameras in your home, right?
Yes.
To see what happens in the natural flow of things.
Yes.
And what we've seen is a high degree of volatility.
Yes.
Are you afraid?
Yeah, terrified.
What do you think's going to happen? What's the downside here?
That I'm going to be another missing wife.
You think he can kill you?
Absolutely.
Has he said so?
Yes.
What did he tell you about it?
He told me that that we're going to be the next story on the 6 o'clock news. He's going to bash my face in. He doesn't know what he's going to do to me. I need to stop bothering him.
You say he has attacked you. He has
Yes.
punched you.
Yes.
You say that he's called you names.
Yes.
What does he call you?
He's called me everything. He's called me fat, disgusting, ugly, lazy, a slut, a whore.
He was trying to tell you on the tape, leave me alone, go away, just get away from me. Mm-hmm. But you didn't. Why?
I just wanted to talk to him.
Well, so where is Ron? After completing his sit-down interview, our field crew reported that Ron appeared happy and calm. But just a short time later, he apparently had a major mood swing and declared He was done with the marriage, was no longer doing the show. Take a look.
Everything seemed to be going really well yesterday, but it seems like right after the field shoot was done, Ron no longer wanted to be a part of the show. I got Ron on the phone myself. He was completely irrational. It was a Jekyll and Hyde situation. So at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, 2 nights before my show, Ron threw a tantrum that completely killed the show. The flight that we were getting Marie and Della on was leaving New York around 6 o'clock. Ron just stood on the front lawn and watched his daughter and his wife take off for Los Angeles. So now it's the day before the show. Ron is still MIA. He's not returning any calls.
Sorry to miss your call. If you leave your name and your number, I'll get right back to you. Thank you.
Hey Ron, it's Corinda.
And Marie and Della are landing in Los Angeles.
We just got off the plane. Ron decided the last minute not to come. Ron was giving the Dr. Phill staff a hard time, yelling at them. He wouldn't let them get a word in edgewise. I can't live with this instability for me or my daughter. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Don't quite understand what's going on.
So he didn't come. He leaves you and your daughter to come. Well, I have a relentless staff. They have been concerned about this whole family. And the good news is, after much machinations, we did get him here.
Okay.
And so... Ron, Dr. Phill, how are you, sir?
Pleasure to meet you, Dr. Phill.
Have a seat. Well, you're here, but you weren't coming. Why did you have such a change in your mind and demeanor and decide not to come to the show?
That's a great question, Dr. Phill. And the last thing I'd like to do is not meet you and see the beautiful state of California with my camera. I love that. But since November 11th, when this barrage of this particular adventure started with the Dr. Phill show, is the last 60 days of our life, I knew the whole premise of coming out here is built upon fiction. So when it hit me and they told me the details, I'm like, you know, our daughter has not gotten attention from us in 60 days. The house is a mess. She loves talking on the phone 24 hours, not sleeping. I have to go to work, still clean, still cook, do the dishes, come home smiling, go out of the house smiling. I like my 5 hours of sleep. From midnight to 5 is all I require. The rest is how I serve my family. I clean my home, I go to work, I help people, I come home, I got groceries in my hand. You know, there's going to be 2 Maries that I'm going to be able to talk about. There's the loving, most beautiful, caring Marie in the world, and there's the most bitter, ticking time bomb that everybody that knows Marie and loves Marie loves her, but they got to say, Marie, I love you, but I got to stay a hand's distance away. Nobody comes around her.
I just asked you why you changed your mind.
Sir? And again, I apologize.
Why did you change your mind? You said you were going to
yes.
come. You said you were going to do all this.
It's really hitting me.
And then
We're
an
here
hour
now.
later, I mean, seriously, an
Because
hour
it's
later.
based on lies, Dr. Phill. As I talk to your producers, it's almost like there's a...
Why'd you change your mind?
Dr. Phill, this is a lie why we're here.
Why did you change your mind?
When you hear the things I have to say about the person I love the most in life, I don't want to be here, Dr. Phill. Wait till you hear what I have to say.
I am going to get Ron to answer my question. What happened between 3 and 4 o'clock? Right after the break.
I'm an abused husband. Do you know what that means, Dr. Phill? I get my face bashed in every day. You people are laughing. My home is a mess.
And later, your daughter picks up the tab for you coming in here and covering your ass.
You're right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. What a farce.
Okay, what happened between 3 p.m. on Saturday and 4 p.m. on Saturday when you went?
I'm an abused husband. Do you know what that means, Dr. Phil? I get my face bashed in every day.
Okay.
Okay?
Did that
this is
happen between
uncomfortable.
3 and 4?
No, it didn't.
What happened between 3 and 4 that you changed your mind?
I'm dealing with a lunatic, okay?
Answer the question.
What? I'm going to come here and say these bad things about my wife on
I
TV.
don't know why you came. You said no. Now why are you here?
Because I was going to have 3 days apiece to be, okay, yeah, no.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, come on. Come on.
Okay, I got the answer.
No, time out. You know, listen.
You can ridicule me. You can ridicule me for being...
Come on, you can be a victim later. I'm just asking you...
The victim is sitting there, Phil.
I am just asking you a simple question. I have made no accusation
said,
against you. You have no idea where I come down on this. And do
I know
not
where you come down. If we
no,
were reversed...
You don't. Do not presuppose. Let me tell you something.
I watch your show every day, Dr. Phil, and I live with her. This is fictitious.
Thank you for watching. Seriously.
You can try to make a fool out of me, Dr. Phil. I'm coming. The only way I told Marie, I would never go. If I was accused of this, I wouldn't even come.
Okay.
No way.
Let me ask you
I would
something.
not come here if I didn't feel like this is the complete opposite. At least give me that much weight.
Let me ask you something here. How does me asking you
why I didn't come?
What caused you to change your mind between 3 and 4? How does that mutate into me making a fool out of you?
Well, your audience is laughing. You're not giving me a chance to
They're
speak.
laughing because you are making a fool out of you.
I'm comfortable.
Because you're simply not being responsive. I'm just asking you a simple... Ron.
Once we get to the meat and potatoes, and she has nothing to stand on...
We would so be into the meat and potatoes if you were not filibustering and failing to answer a question. We would already be into all of that.
But you just pulled me from the front lines hours ago. I came from the war, post-traumatic stress disorder. You people are laughing. My home is a mess. A mess.
All right, take a deep breath here. Let me explain something to you. I got one goal here.
Yes.
Let's
get past that one answer, Dr. Phil. My God. She's seen Kill on the mirror.
Ron, I have one goal here.
Protect my 4-year-old daughter.
And that is to try...
Don't make my relationship work, Dr. Will. I want my daughter protected. She's got psychotherapy this long, not taking medications, getting drunk, punching me in the face. The cops come. Marie, there's no assault on there, but twice they take her. Who do I got to keep saying it to? I went to CPS. I went to domestic violence. I'm coming to you. Now I'm here again like this. I'm like this, Dr. Phil. Everybody knows me in life. I'm not like this, dude.
Eye contact.
I know.
Okay, listen to me. I have one goal here.
Yes, what is that?
Thank you. I want to calm this situation down because
I don't want to get like that.
We have, in my opinion, a child growing up in a highly toxic situation.
And as of right now, she's a perfect kid.
I want that toxic situation to improve or be defused or get her out of it. So I ask you, why did you change your mind and decide you didn't want to come? Was it something she said? Was it something you thought?
My neighbor
Did you just have a shift in opinion?
My neighbor came over. I wasn't going to answer. I was going to have 3 days of peace in my home, clean this house. So when she come home, she'd have a clean house, and I was leaving.
Then
I was
why
going to my
bother to
mother's.
do the interview with us if you weren't going to come?
Because I don't want to do that, Dr. Phil.
You don't want to do what?
Hold on now. Hold on. Let's go slow, all right? Now I came. My neighbor came this morning. It's Ron, why don't you go? There's no way Marie's ever going to get help if you don't go. And then what's Della left with?
Okay, so you don't know what changed your mind. Did you ever intend to come?
You don't know what changed my mind. I know what changed my mind.
Okay, tell me what it is. Just give me 2 sentences about why you changed.
Della.
Okay.
My daughter.
Okay,
she's going to come home.
Between 3 and 4,
changed.
something happened about Della.
I don't even know about 3 and 4, dude. This is from November 11th when I called CPS on her. The barrage of emails. Did you see all the stuff I sent you, Dr. Phil? I don't know if you had. I brought it with me.
If you sent it, I've seen it. I got a notebook about 250 pages thick. I get it. Between 3 and 4, nothing particularly happened. You just had a change of opinion. Change of heart.
I changed of heart.
All right, we're going to take a break.
I had a change of heart.
Gotcha. Next, Ron says Marie is not the victim, that he is the victim, and he is fed up with her insane accusations. We'll talk about that when we come back.
This is the last time she found the camera. You see it's all busted, the porcelain with the tape?
Oh, yeah. because
She took the
do you know
camera.
what you did to me?
See this camera right here? I had a
you
different
know what
one.
you did to
She
me?
put it on here and beat it with a hammer.
What about the time you broke all my snow globes?
Honey, please.
What about the time you dropped all my snow globes?
They're gonna
right there
say
in
that
front
we're
of Bella?
acting.
You wanted to start
Food card! You want me to talk like that when you say, give me the food card?
Anything will set Ron off.
This is where we start getting crazy. You're making...
Wait, no!
He punches things. His hands bleed.
Yeah, you want your...
There's definitely something wrong with these rages. One time I tried to joke with him about a lighter, and he grabbed me by my shirt and pulled me down the stairs. And in order for me to get away from him, I had to bite him. I had to call the police. Another time in the middle of the night, Ron was snoring, and I just touched him to let him know. He got up so mad, and he popped me with like 3 fingers like that, and it made me start to think like, God, there's something really wrong here.
Forget it!
That looks very awful.
Yeah, you should see it
And
through
that's just in the last 60 days when she got the camera phone.
Yeah, you should see it through a child's eyes. Changes who they are. Changes who they are. And for you guys to be doing that and doing it in front of this child or with her in the next room, whatever, shame on both of you. He says, and these are my words summarizing him, that you are overdramatic, melodramatic, and don't know when to walk away. And as a result, it just goes on and on and on and on. Fair summary?
Yes, sir.
What do you say about that? I mean, even before he got out here, I asked you, God, it seemed like he asked you 10 times to just walk away, and you just rah, 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 rah. Do you not know what you're doing? Do you not know that that's escalating things?
I guess I never realized it. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's escalating things for me to actually stay there.
And you say it doesn't take much to set him off. I thought I got a pretty good example of that when I asked you why you changed your mind.
I'm
and
passionate.
20 minutes later.
I'm passionate, but I'm never physical, Dr. Phill, ever. Never once touched her, never called her anything fat, ugly. She's beautiful. Everything she says is a lie. Unfortunately, as I observed her for 8 years, she doesn't know she's lying. She can't help it.
Did you write kill on the mirror?
I did not write kill on the mirror, Dr. Phill. I have a blanket and pillow in the trunk of my car, and I didn't come home that night, Dr. Phill. I slept on the barbershop floor. I wasn't coming home when she said she's seen the word kill on it.
Tell me the truth. Who put that on the mirror?
Tell her the truth.
He put it there.
When did he put it there? He said he wasn't home.
He was home that whole day. We were taping. The video cameras were in the house.
And he wrote kill on the mirror.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Somebody is lying.
Yes, sir. This is my life for 8 years. That's why I'm like this.
Somebody is lying about this.
She's cold, cool, calm, and collective. That's scary.
And what that means to me, if somebody's lying here, is that there are 3 agendas. There's your agenda, and then the family daughter agenda, and it's coming in third. Because one of you is lying, and your daughter picks up the tab for you coming in here and covering your ass. Now, I want somebody to tell me the truth. You two think about that. When we come back, Ron says Marie's physically attacked him repeatedly, spit in his face, and was once arrested for being intoxicated. Plus, we'll hear from Marie's Aunt Robin. We're going to find out why Ron's rage literally left her shaking when we come back.
Please, don't discount me. You already beat me all the time. Don't discredit me.
I don't beat you. Stop
All
lying.
7 years, I was your slave
Stop
of
lying
love.
to yourself.
It's just been 8 years of talking to like insanity.
He punching my
Rock.
face in?
We're at an end.
I will divorce you before anything gets in the way of me and my daughter.
Your anger's gonna get in the way.
It's not.
We're in an 8-year movie here. The movie started the day I met her, and it's continuing the second.
Oh, look at me. I'm shaking apart. I'm a lunatic. Are you gonna keep calling the police and being angry and punching my
Rock.
face in? I clean. I shop.
No.
I rub your
I
feet.
begged you. You rub my feet.
Please
when I was
don't
pregnant.
discount me. You already beat me all the time. Don't discredit me.
I don't beat you. Stop
All
lying.
7 years, I was your slave
Stop
of
lying
love.
to yourself.
Now, look.
Well, no, your perception is your reality.
Babe, let Dr.
Ron,
Phill be the
Ron.
judge.
I get irate because it's just been 8 years of talking to like insanity.
You went up to my face, Ron. You went directly up to my face to face, and you said, "Go ahead, you whore. Go ahead, punch me."
She's not well. So I give her the benefit of the doubt while being a punching bag. We're at an end.
Okay, look.
I don't think domestic violence is a platform for laughter, because if some of your women are doing domestic violence, it's not funny.
Crawl down off your high horse, buddy. Come on. They're laughing at the ridiculousness of the antics. They don't think it's funny, and to suggest that they do is inappropriate.
If this was reversed, you guys would be crying for her. Oh my God, Dr. Phil. Unbelievable.
Listen, you've got a know-it-all, sanctimonious attitude. How's that working for you in your marriage?
Sir, just remember.
How is it working
It's
for you
not.
in your marriage? Then why don't
But
you
this
do
is the
something
end
different?
result.
You're here to get some help. So I think you could quit commentating on the audience and focus on the problem you've got. Because I'm going to tell you, somebody's going to tell me the truth here, and this situation
looking
is
at
going
it,
to
Dr.
change,
Phill.
or I'm reporting this to CPS, and you got a
I
serious
did.
problem. Yeah. Okay.
Just so you know, I went to CPS on November 11th.
All right, you're
That's
right.
just 2 months ago.
You're right.
You're right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. What a farce. What a farce. Until you see the truth. I'm not lying. The stuff is so crazy in my home. If I tell you, people, you're going to laugh. But if we put a lie detector on it, then there's no doubt about it. Come on, Doc, get the lie detector and put us on. Because these guys, you're going to think I'm lying. And she's sitting there like,
We're not having an election here.
But, I mean, what
It
can we
doesn't
do?
matter what
You're going
they
to say,
think.
we're going to sit here until someone tells the truth. The man that is losing his voice and his demeanor, heart beating through his chest, I beg her, please, getting that look from Dr. Phill. Let's get the lie detector here. It's the only way. I'm not going to change my story. It's the truth. Do you have a lie detector
Yes.
test? You're looking for the person telling the truth. You're staring at him. She's lying. I'm abused and telling the truth. She's been doing this for 30 years.
Marie's
I'm
Aunt
just the
Robin
last 8 years
says
stop.
Ron is a rageaholic who abuses drugs, has attacked his wife Marie, and buys alcohol for his wife to get her in the mood. Let's hear what she has to say.
Ron decided to tell me she doesn't cook, that she doesn't clean, that she doesn't do anything right. She doesn't act like a wife should act. And I told him, Ron, you can go and, buy something at the grocery store. And he said to me, now I know why OJ killed Ron Goldman and Nicole Simpson. He's telling me that he's going to kill me. I thought that he was threatening me, telling me I better stay my distance. I believe he has real rage issues and that he was threatening my life.
Well, joining us now via Polycom is Aunt Robin. Did, in fact, you say to Robin, now I know why O.J. Simpson killed the people?
Not at all, Dr. Phill. Not at all.
Yes, you did. Don't lie. And I tell you, I am afraid of him.
Well, you're not. This isn't
I'm her
the only
husband's
person we
barber.
talked to. We also talked to Ron's neighbor, Scott. Now, he's a private investigator, and he says, look, I've been around, and the innocent one in this situation is Ron. Take a look at what he had to say.
About a year ago, my wife, my 3-year-old, and myself moved next door to Ron and Marie. Ron and Marie's daughter, Della, and my daughter are great friends. Having access to certain things as a private investigator, I was able to check out backgrounds. Ron has never lied to me. He's always been very forthcoming with anything in his past. Marie would get angry at least 2 to 3 times a week. On one occasion, I heard ridiculous, vile language coming from the backyard. Marie was on the phone screaming. Every other word was profanity. Ron told me that Marie sometimes suffers from rage. Marie has claimed that Ron is a drug addict, an abuser. Marie has also claimed that Ron has wanted to murder her at one time. All of these accusations are ridiculous.
So, 2 very different characterizations. Marie says it's heartbreaking when her 4-year-old daughter yells, "Don't fight," or "Stop yelling," in the middle of one of her screaming matches with Ron. Plus, Marie's medication and alcohol intake has raised a really big red flag for me. We'll be right back.
Ron makes Stella cry all the time.
It's okay.
She told me that she doesn't think Daddy loves me.
What did you just say? Who doesn't like me?
Ron told Child Protective Services that I have a violent temper
That's why I called CPS, because you break things, you hit me.
and that he didn't feel safe with me being home alone with Della.
He makes Stella cry all the time.
It's okay.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning, hon.
He tells Della to leave Mommy alone.
She told me that she doesn't think Daddy loves me.
What did you just say? Who doesn't like me?
And she was sitting on the floor. She was kind of shy about it.
I'm so sorry, honey. You know he loves you, right?
Well, that, I'm telling you, shame on both of you for getting involved in that and putting her through it. And I'm going to tell you, this doesn't just upset a child for the day, it changes who they are because it threatens their base of operations. They're wondering if everything is going to fall apart. Now, something happened on the home cam that I would like to discuss with Marie. Take a look at this.
Did you drink last night or no? Did you throw those away?
I did dump them. They're outside.
Okay, because there was
I
3
dumped
bottles
them.
of
I
whiskey
dumped
here.
them.
It's not a question if we're going to get divorced. It's a question Dr. Phill says you're safe enough to continue to be your mother with your daughter. Trust me.
Okay. Now, Ron says that you take a combination of Celexa and Klonopin, and then you drink whiskey. Listen, I'm worried about this mix of pills and alcohol, and I wanted a physician to address that concern with you.
Okay.
Now, one of our resources here at the Dr. Phill Show is Doctor on Demand, which is a new app we created that allows you to talk to a doctor virtually instantly.
Okay.
So I want to do that right now. Okay, doctor, it's Dr. Phill. How are you, sir?
Hi, this is Dr. Ian Tong. Hi, Dr. Phill. How are you?
Dr. Tong, thank you. Marie is taking Celexa and Klonopin, and on more than rare occasions is drinking whiskey on top of that. I think that is dangerous. I think it creates a problem, but I want you to talk with her directly about that. So I'm going to let you hold that phone just anywhere around there.
Hi, Marie. This is Dr. Tong from Doctor on Demand. That medication actually has what's called a depressing effect on the central nervous system. What that depressing effect does is it actually can slow down your heart rate. It can also slow down your respiratory rate. When you add alcohol, you really magnify the effect of the Klonopin. So you're actually making it even a stronger dose. And so you're further depressing your respiratory rate and your heart rate. When you do this, you really run the risk of losing consciousness. When you add alcohol to that, you're really taking a huge risk by combining those drugs along with the alcohol.
It can even result in death, correct?
That's true, absolutely. You can suppress the respiratory drive and heart rate enough that it becomes a life-threatening problem. Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Tong, I want to thank you so much. We use Doctor on Demand with our guest here, but everybody can use it at home. You can get the app. You go to Google Play or the App Store, you download it, you put in your information, you can be talking to a board-certified physician in a matter of seconds. We love it here at the Dr. Phil Show. Next, Marie says that she suffered greatly at the hands of her now-deceased stepfather. She went days without food or water, was held hostage in her room for days, and she says she's witnessed the aftermath of a heinous murder when she was 8. And when we come back, we're going to talk about how her past is impacting her now in the present. We'll be right back.
I report this on tape.
I hope so. I certainly do.
Because I'm sure you
I
heard
will
it.
swear to God and take a...
You swear to God a lot?
I do.
Yeah.
I will take a lie detector test on that, too.
Oh my gosh, I want Dr. Phil to
I will
lie.
take a lie
Only,
detector test on that.
Because I don't think you're lying. You are telling the truth to yourself. So I bet you everything that I know is a lie, you will pass with flying colors. Because I don't think you know the difference.
It's not that simple. It's not that simple.
Are you going to keep calling the police and being angry and punching my face in? I'm domestic violence, Marie.
No, you're
Dr.
not.
Phil McGraw's going to
No,
say,
you're
Marie,
not.
he's going to say, be quiet. You are this man should have
You
locked
keep
up.
on interrupting me.
Well,
if you think so.
Yeah, I'm going to stand on it.
Okay.
I'm going to bet my life on it.
Okay. Well,
If
see what
Dr.
he thinks
Phil
of it.
doesn't say I'm in a domestic violence relationship, Ron.
We both are. We both are.
I want to know what's really going on here.
Right now.
What is it that you are so upset about?
I'm so upset because he never listens to me anymore.
Okay. All right, that's fair. Go ahead.
I feel like I've lost my best friend.
Right.
I feel like I'm not looking at the same person that I used to look at.
What do you want? Tell me, if you could write the script for this marriage going forward, tell me what it would be.
In a perfect world, we'd both get the help.
I'm sorry?
In a perfect world, we'd both get the help that we need.
Right.
Because I know I'm not perfect.
But what would your marriage be like? I mean, every day, just you
every
come
day.
in, go in, you come home.
Not have
What happens?
Not have to worry what kind of mood he's going to be in. And being happy that Daddy came home from work and that Daddy didn't have to go outside and get high. In order to be able to see his little girl. And for Ron to be Ron again.
I ask you what the script was going forward. What would be the wonderful world for you?
That would be the best.
And in that, you subtly took 5 or 6 cheap shots at him.
I'm so sorry.
Okay?
I'm so sorry.
Because, what you'd expect if somebody was going to answer that, you go, oh my gosh, we would be happy, we would be best friends again, we would support one another, we would share about our thoughts and feelings and our day, we would take pride in watching this little girl blossom and be wonderful.
Right.
That's what I would
right.
expect would be a healthy response.
No.
Instead, I heard, that he would come home and not be in a bad mood and wouldn't go outside and smoke dope and yell in front of the daughter and not. And I thought, let's just bitch slap him a few more times while we're talking about this.
No, I don't want to do that.
But that's the way I'm telling you how you're thinking about this. So now a question for you. What do you need to change to spark a difference in this relationship?
Dr. Phil, I like being her best friend, and I want to continue it. The best way that we can get to that again.
What do you need to change?
There's 2 major things I need help with. One, mostly, I smoke so much. Cigarettes, weed. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I don't drink alcohol one bit. I stopped going to meetings in the last almost 8 years. I need to get back to meetings
What's
to
the second
become
thing?
more common. Quit smoking and getting back to meetings. I want to sit down with my daughter and my wife and feel good. The other thing, if I could just, Dr. Phill, one thing. Friends, if we were friends, we do good things for each other. Then I'm looking back in the last 8 years, cops, break stuff, punch my face, and I'm like, what kind of friend are you? I can't be your friend. I have no friends like you. No one hits me, no one calls the cops. Oh, I'll be your friend, but my gosh, that comes with a price. I don't want that.
Strange as it may seem, I have a plan for this family, and I'm going to tell them what it is when we come back. Let me tell you, in all the time that I've been working with people, you two may have perhaps the worst communication skills of any two people I've ever met on the stage at one time. Okay? Now, but I've only had about 12,000 guests, so it's not a big sample, but you two don't know how to communicate. A, you both talk at the same time. B, if you're not talking at the same time, the split second he stops talking, you start. You're not that smart. That means while he was talking, you were thinking about what you were going to say next instead of listening to what he was saying. Yes. And you don't even wait till they're through talking. You just start talking and having a conversation with yourself. And you can't understand why the two of you can't problem solve. You can't problem solve because you're not problem solvers. You're problem creators. And both of you need to calm down. Just calm down. Honest to God, you just need to calm down. I tell you what I want to do. I want to get a specialist to come in, my gift to y'all,
thank you,
a specialist to come in and teach you how to communicate. I want to help y'all with that. Will you do that? If I arrange that,
yeah.
Will you do that?
I'm more than willing.
And we're going to show you how to relax and calm down together. We're going to actually do some meditation together, some relaxation together, and then teach you how to communicate. And I think the silence is going to be deafening. I think your daughter's going to go, oh, wow. Wow, I got my mom and dad back.
I want her to feel that again.
So will you take this help?
Yes.
Will you take this help?
Absolutely, yes. There's a psychological factor. There's a marriage counseling factor. Myself going to AA and quitting smoking, but it's a combination.
No, I'm going to help you with that too.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to help you with
all the above.
We're going to help you with
definitely
smoking
a piece
right
of the
away.
puzzle. Yes. I got the patches.
Okay.
I know the theory, but I'm not going to leave here and stop smoking.
No, I didn't ask you to do that. Just so you leave.
You just got your family this morning. Thank you, Dr. Phill.
We're going to work on this. I want to thank my guests today, and I want to thank myself for hanging in. All right, raise a hand if you have ever said something you later regretted. Yeah, raise a hand if you've ever posted anything hurtful about someone else online. Yeah, we've all said things we don't really mean in the heat of a fight, right? Sometimes you can just say sorry, but when it comes to social media posts, you can't always hit delete. If you have a teenager, pay close attention to what happened to my guest today. Desiree says she'll never forget the day she got into a screaming match with her teenage daughter. After that fight, her daughter vented on social media. What happened next is a parent's worst nightmare.
When my daughter Hope was young, she was a straight A student.
I was a normal, regular kid. I loved to do theater. I loved soccer and cheerleading.
Hope was filled with innocence, joy, and ambition.
When I was 14, my whole life changed.
My daughter Hope was kidnapped by sex traffickers. Hope was forced into prostitution.
It all started because I posted on a social media site that I hated my mother. A woman messaged me back telling me that I could go stay with her and we'd go partying. She showed up within the next 45 minutes and I was gone.
The suspects target girls who post comments about a negative home life on social media sites and chat rooms.
For 14-year-olds, oh, I hate my mom, she doesn't understand me, I can't wait to get out of here.
That's how police say William Jacobs and Shayla Williams met a young North Texas victim who was just 14 years old.
I walked into the motel room. I see a man sitting in the corner. The first thing that came out of his mouth was, "Take off your clothes so we can take these pictures." And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna take my clothes off. He said, "So you wanna do this the hard way?" He hit me a couple times and after that I was out like a light. I woke up in the closet. The closet that I was in was about the size of me right here. After they took me out the closet, they took crushed up pills and they forced them down my throat. After they force fed me pills, I would try to move my body, but I couldn't pick myself up. They made me feel catatonic. After they drugged me, I had my first client.
Hope says she knew if she wanted to make it, she had to find a way to cope.
In order to survive my kidnapping, I had to create an alter ego. They told me that my name wasn't Hope anymore, it was Sophia. So that's the name that I took on. Sophia is the girl that walks with her head high. She was the one who dealt with all the clients and the Johns and the beatings. When I was with the traffickers, they never fed me. My source of food would be picking it out of the trash, drinking the water from the faucet. I bit my nails a lot. One time I was taking a shower and he busted it open and beat me with the belt because I locked the door.
The couple is accused of trafficking the teen in 8 different states in only a 3-week period.
The traffickers made me sleep with men in each state. Over 20 men a day. I could never be Hope again after that. I was never going to be the same girl.
Hope's mother says her daughter's terrifying ordeal claimed more than one victim. She says at times she feels just as traumatized as her daughter. She also says before today, Hope has never wanted to share her story or any specific details about what happened.
Hope's not the only victim. I'm a victim. During the time that Hope was gone, I felt lost. It took a lot of strain on my job, my relationship with my other kids. It was an emotional roller coaster. I tried to make up for things financially for Hope to compensate for what she had gone through when I really couldn't even afford it. Like, she called me, she's like, "Mom, I need to come up there." And I'm like, "Are you coming to school? Are you gonna finish your school? Because you know that's the only reason why I will let you back in. But you're not willing to do that." So then you call me and you tell me, "You're hungry, you need money." If I had it like that, maybe. But when I'm 60 years old, is she gonna still come to me and say, "I need $200? What's gonna happen when something happens to me and I don't have the financial means to take care of me? Don't we all have to work for our retirement? Don't we all have to save for our future? And if I'm constantly giving it out, don't you think that I'm a little bit depressed? Don't you think I'm a little bit discouraged? Don't you think that I'm a little bit worried about me? Is that selfish? I love Hope. I love her. But she's not the only victim.
Hope, I'm glad you're here. Desiree, I'm glad you're here. You seem to be very traumatized by what happened to your daughter. Yeah. Tell me about that.
I didn't know the things that she shared with you. Traumatized in the manner that it was difficult. Throughout the whole proceedings, you know, it was about helping her and wanting to do the right thing. But every time anybody reached out to her to help her when she was returned, if it was not under the circumstances that she felt that was deemed appropriate or that she wanted, she would resist. So it became a struggle to help. And then it came to the point where, how much more can I do? What can I do? Do I give up my life dedicated to cater and to fix what was broken? I had 2 other kids. you know, and I was struggling, period. And I felt like the other two were being neglected, and I felt bad. I felt guilty.
I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're safe.
Thank you.
I can't even imagine what that had to be like at the time and what you went through. You went from posting a snippy message on a site to within an hour you were out of your house and gone, right? When you wound up in that motel room getting hit, was there a point when you believed you were never going to get out alive?
I'm pretty sure I thought that was the end, especially when I woke up that morning in a black closet, not being able to see. I thought I was dead.
Yeah. Up next, I have some questions for Desiree.
Hope was no longer hope. It was very difficult and was very trying, and I understand that she's not the same child that I had at one time, and she may never be that child that I had.
Are you resentful towards her? And later, you say you're a victim too.
If your child goes missing and you haven't seen them in 2 or 3 weeks, and then the grandmother gets a phone call saying, they're beating me, you're not a victim?
And you said as days went by and you got drugged more and more and days turn in 2 weeks, at that point you actually started to adopt an alter ego to kind of, it's what we call in psychology, disassociate from it and just become another person, just become disassociated from it and become another person to get through it. Tell me about that.
Well, I have an alter ego. Her name is Sophia. She helps me cope with the situation. All of the bad things that I've ever gone through in life, definitely a lot of the sexual abuse that I've encountered, it goes onto her, you know, and all of that stuff, it makes her a stronger person. But me, if Hope was to be herself, she probably wouldn't be standing in here, wouldn't be on this show right now.
So you're saying the girl that started out in life, you're saying you don't think could survive this, so this alter ego was generated to be tougher, to be...
There's two different sides of my personality. There's Hope, the one who has social anxiety, who'd rather be locked up in the room all day and not come out, doesn't want to see anybody, doesn't want to talk to anybody. You know, she wants to be alone, just her. She'll go into her closet and sit there because that's what she knows. And then there's Sophia, who can go out and be around people, smile and laugh and do all the things that a normal person would do, but better.
And this is a survival mechanism for you.
It's my coping mechanism.
And when you were rescued by the police, and it was a raid of sorts. And when you were rescued, at the time, you were listed as a runaway.
Yes.
Right? Because of this message that you had written, rather than an abductee, you were listed as a runaway. So when you were rescued, they actually put you in jail.
Yes.
When you eventually got back to your mother, how did you two get along?
After the situation, I went from one reality to another reality. And being isolated for so long, going back into society, it wasn't easy on me. I didn't go back to my mother's house, but coping with the family in general, I couldn't. I tried going back to school, and the minute that I walked in there, I walked right back out. I looked at all them children, and I thought to myself, like, I'll never be like them, you know, innocent with, you know, the glow of being childish and not having any worries in the world. And so I walked out. I never went back.
And how do you two get along now?
We're distant, and I want to clarify something.
Okay.
Okay, that was not the first time that Hope had taken off from the house.
Right, I understand.
Okay, so we didn't know if it was another weekend getaway or if it was going out partying and if she was going to come back. We didn't know. And she was on paper on probation. And so when I talked and I reached out to the probation officer, they advised me to call the police and file Hope as a runaway because that was my next step. Okay, she was never considered an abductee until after she was recovered. And then within the detention center, see, what happened to Hope was no longer Hope. She looked at these individuals as families and even protected them. So it wasn't simple to get her to cooperate. It was very difficult and was very trying. And I understand that she's not the same child that I had at one time, and she may never be that child that I had. Okay, so, and I don't think she understands what the ordeal that we endured as a family, wondering whether or not we were going to get a call or not.
Are you resentful towards her?
I'm not resentful.
You sound resentful towards
I
her.
wish that she would just, how can I put it? We're all victims. We're not all victims, but we were victims. I've gone through things. Our family has gone through things. And I've always taught my children to be strong. And that even though things happen, sometimes there's a reason that they just need to be able to try to learn to get help, overcome the situation, and face life head on.
I understand that. Why am I getting that you feel resentful towards her?
The point is that when I come to you at my lowest, on my knees, begging.
You don't come to your knees. You give me ultimatums.
Okay, no, I don't want your money and I don't want your time.
Why am I getting that you feel resentful towards her?
I'm not resentful towards her. What I'm resentful towards is that a family member that was causing a situation that became either financial burden or a crisis where my house was falling apart. My job, you don't know how much time. I had to meet with Homeland Security. I had to meet with FBI. I had to meet with the courts. I had to meet with like 3 different attorneys at different levels, going to the juvenile detention center, going to the county courthouse. And it's not that I don't love, I love it with all my heart. And anybody on your staff will know that I try to cater to her as much as I possibly can. But as soon as I say something or as soon as I do something and I don't meet what she wants, she's not the same person. How much more of that do I deal with? I love her with all my heart. Not once did I miss a visitation. Not once did I miss anything. If they said I needed to jump, I said, how high? I said, how high?
So you say that you're a victim too, is your point.
You don't understand. Who wouldn't?
You don't know what I understand. I'm asking you. You say you're a victim too. And I just want to be clear, you say you're a victim too, but you're not saying you were raped 20 times a day. You're just saying you're a victim too.
No, I'm a victim in the sense as me, not just me, her grandmother, a family that cared for her, that every night went to bed not knowing whether or not they were going to find her, not knowing whether or not she was going to be alive. Don't you think that is traumatizing enough? You tell me if your child goes missing and you haven't seen them in 2 or 3 weeks, and then the grandmother gets a phone call saying, they're beating me. You're not a victim? I'm not saying in comparison, there's no comparison.
Well, let me play a couple of the things you said.
Okay.
In your tape and let you, and I'll tell you why I responded. There were a couple of bites, things you said that I find unsettling.
Okay.
So let's listen.
You call me and you tell me you're hungry, you need money. If I had it like that, maybe. But when I'm 60 years old, is she gonna still come to me and say, I need $200? What's gonna happen when something happens to me and I don't have the financial means to take care of me? Don't we all have to work for our retirement? Don't we all have to save for our future? And if I'm constantly giving it out, don't you think that I'm a little bit depressed? Don't you think I'm a little bit discouraged? Don't you think that I'm a little bit worried about me? Is that selfish? I love Hope. I love her. But she's not the only victim. Let me respond. You know when this happened? This didn't happen a year ago when this happened. This happened 3 weeks ago. And 4 weeks before that, she asked me for $40. She's in one area of the state. I'm in another area. I told her if I could help you, I will help you. So I gave her money the first time. 2 weeks later, she gives me the money. You know what her response to me is? Is that if I don't help her, she's going to resort to what she knows how to do.
No.
How does a mother react to that situation?
First of all, I'm not like your other children that you do take care of, because me, even though I'm 17 years old, I go out there on my own and I take care of myself. Whatever I want, I get it. But you know what? That's not the point how I get it. The point is that when I come to you at my lowest, on my knees, begging.
You don't come to your knees. You give me ultimatums.
Okay, no, I don't give you ultimatums, Mother. Like, that's not the thing. Is that when I ask you, okay, Mother, I would like for you to help me out with $40. Did I ever ask for anything more than that? You know what? And at the end of the day, that's all I'm getting is the 20 and $40 here and there. I'm not asking for much. And even that, I don't even call you. I don't talk to you. I don't even want your money. I don't want your money, and I don't want your time.
Hope, I don't even have the money to give you.
Okay, Hope says her mom wants her to just move on with her life and forget the past, but is it that simple? I plan to let her mom and Hope know what I think when we come back.
She cannot continue living the life she is and be productive at the same time.
My mom has never been a shoulder to cry on. It's never been about what I've gone through or what she's put me through. It's always been about her and her problems.
At 14 years old, Hope was abducted and held against her will and became a victim of sex trafficking. She was lured out of the house while her mother was home and in the other room. So after being rescued, is Hope's mom more involved in her life, or is there still distance between the two?
I do try to listen to Hope when she wants to talk. The difficult thing is that she just wants me to listen. There's a lot of pain inside of her and there's a lot of anger, and sometimes she takes that out on me. When I do try to engage her, it gets on her nerves, and so she lashes out. But she really needs to heal. Even as a traumatic situation as hers, life is still gonna go on. Someone's gonna have to pay the bills. She cannot continue living the life she is and be productive at the same time. She's still a victim, and she never got herself together.
My mom has never been a shoulder to cry on for me. It's never been about what I've gone through or what she's put me through. It's always been about her and her problems. That's all she cares about.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of do some talking here to the two of you, and let me start with you. The trauma in your life and in this family didn't begin the day that you were abducted. We know that. We know that there were a lot of things that happened in her life before this. We know that this family has had a very difficult time along the way.
Yes.
And do I not, you asked me, do I not think it would be traumatizing to have my child abducted and all? I'm not going to tell you I know how that would feel because I don't know how that would feel, and until you've been through that, for me to tell you I know how you feel would be ridiculous. Unless you've been through that, unless you've gotten that phone call, unless you've been through that, you can't imagine that. So yeah, I think that I can only speculate that would be very, very difficult. I can speculate how I would feel if I ever got my hands and arms back around them again. I understand that life is difficult and it is trying. I know this was a difficult relationship before this happened. I know that it's been a difficult relationship trying to reconnect after it happened. And one of the things that I know for sure is when these things happen to people, it affects more than just the person. It affects everybody, and the fallout goes for a long time and a long way, and it affects everyone. And I hate that for y'all. I absolutely hate it. And it leaves scars that run very, very deep. We know that this wasn't the first trauma that has occurred in your life, and things have happened that have changed you. And frankly, you've not had much help with that. You've found a way to cope. You found a way to survive. You found a way to cope with that. And it's gotten you through. You're still here. You're still vertical. But you're 17. You're still a child. And we also know that when this kind of trauma happens, a lot of development stops. And so even though you're 17, a lot of development stops. And so you've not had a lot of help with this because it takes very specialized help and very specialized healing to get past this. I don't want this to define you for the rest of your life. What happened to you early on in your life, not once but twice when you've fallen victim to predators in your life, I don't want that to define you. I don't want this to define you the rest of your life. I don't want that to happen. You are so much more than what people have done to you, and to let that define you would be a tragedy.
I'm not a prostitute. I have men that take care of me like sugar daddies. In order to survive, I'd meet some poor guy that would fall in love with me until they realized that I hated their guts. For me, there's no such thing as love. And I don't get any pleasure from sex. When I'm with a man and there is sex involved, they know that they are going to pay me. I'm not a prostitute. I have men that take care of me like sugar daddies. In order to survive, I'd meet some poor guy that would fall in love with me and take care of me until they realized that I hated their guts.
Somebody in this world with the right intention needs to step up and help you. And I want to lead the charge in doing that. I want to help you. I've asked someone to be here. Right here. This is Kathleen Parrish right here. She is the clinical director of the Cottonwood Treatment Center, and this is a holistic behavioral treatment program, and they've been at this for over 25 years, and they provide really an environment of understanding and safety. It's located on a 35-acre, really a scenic campus overlooking Tucson. And they got a long history of working with people that have suffered from PTSD, particularly victims of sexual abuse. Because, as I say, it's very, very specialized. And we asked them to come here today. And this wave Kathleen so she can see who you are. And I want to offer to you to sit down with Kathleen when we finish today, because I want to make available to you to work with these folks from Cottonwood to help you get on the road to dealing with this, not coping with it, not creating an alter ego to tough through it, but to truly heal this from the inside out and give yourself a chance to be who you truly are. And that's just a gift from us to you, and I want to make that available to you. This is not something that you have to do. It's not something, but it's just something that I want to offer to you, and that I want you to sit down with Kathleen, because you can really help this don't you think, Kathleen?
Yes, I think so. And I think helping, you hope to learn to integrate your story into how you understand yourself so that you don't have separate parts of how you operate. And at Cottonwood in our Sweetwater program, you have 90 days and a lot of help, a lot of supports to learn to tell your story. Telling your story over and over and over again helps you learn to understand yourself, to learn your resilience, where you're powerful, where you're strong.
And you can go through details about this, and you can listen and be part of this. And I think this would be a huge life-changing event for you. I just think it would be
If I can add, you were right. Hope's been a victim, and at 6 years old, I put her in counseling. I was going through a custody battle at the time and dealing with the courts again. During this incident too, we followed through with counseling as well. But in order to heal and in order to get the counseling and for it to be effective, she has to be receptive and willing to work at it. And it's not easy. And I don't think that she wanted to face it, because the hardest thing that she told me, and when they had her in custody the first time, when we go to detention and we go to court, we're not supposed to touch them. But I did ask special requests to be able to give her a hug, and I did hug her, but because she was in custody for something else that she had done prior to this incident.
Okay, what's your point?
My point is that
because we're trying to move forward.
I understand I'm trying to move forward, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, we did try this before, and I'm hoping that she'd be receptive to accepting it and being able to understand that it's much needed.
Okay, thank you. Up next, is Hope's mom helping or hurting this situation?
I do believe that I have the right to explain why I react the way that I act today.
And I think you've explained that several times.
All right, but I don't think that you've actually received it.
When you get a guy's attention, you might feel really important for a few minutes, but popularity is not the most important thing in life. You can feel good about respecting yourself and not giving yourself away to people who don't respect you.
So at what age is it reasonable to monitor your child's cell phone and internet activity? As long as you can.
It blows my mind that women would engage in risky sexual behavior. It's dangerous and you can get hurt. And you don't have enough value in yourself that you would want to be in a healthy relationship.
Okay, I'm back with Hope and Desiree, but before we move on, you were telling me you're unhappy about something. Tell me what
No,
it is.
it's just that I appreciate the gesture. I am blessed to know that somebody will help my daughter. Okay? But I don't want to say also that the opportunities weren't there. There were several different facilities and several different places that we attempted and we tried. And I know we're moving forward. And even when she was released, she was still leaving the home for days at a time. I was still going through the nightmare.
I found my comfort in other people's homes.
We're really wanting to move forward.
I understand, but if you put me here, then I do believe that I have the right to explain why I react the way that I am today.
And I think you've explained that several times.
All right, but I don't think that you've actually received it.
Well, I've heard you several times.
I know, but I don't think you're actually understanding where I come from.
You mean I don't agree with you?
I'm not sure if you agree or disagree, but I don't think you understand.
Okay. Well, you've told me several times.
I know.
Would you like me to tell you what it was you said to me so you know that I've heard it?
Believe me, trust me, I appreciate it very much, and I appreciate your hospitality. I said, but even the exposure here alone, yourself will be able to be a testimony and witness that it's very difficult at times. I love her, but it makes it almost impossible when somebody keeps hitting you and hitting you and hitting you. What do? Do you continue taking the beating?
Yeah. I did.
Okay.
Do you understand where I'm coming from now? I told your staff, I'm not a trained lifeguard. I can't jump in and save someone if they're drowning.
Where do these two go from here? We'll talk about that after the break.
Paint whatever picture you want. That's fine. I'm just telling you.
You've got the paintbrush, and the next sentence out of my mouth was that I want to offer you help and support with this as well, because I think there's a lot of stress and trauma that you've been through as well, and I think you need help and support as well, and I want to offer you the same thing.
I was on my own at 14. The only difference between me being on 14 and you being 14 was I was able to get a job, and I was able. I'm 40 years old right now, and when I was your age, I was able to find a job, and finally, long story short, I was in a foster home. So when I sit there, I'm not trying to be harsh. I live what she lived, but not to the extent that she did. And I understand it, and I love you. I just don't understand if you receive the fact that I've loved you from day one when you were 6 years old, and the incident happened, and you told me, Mom, why did I go through this? And the only thing that I told you was, what did I tell you? I told you, you know what? Sometimes God allows things to happen because you're strong, and you saved what? You saved another little girl that was going through the same abuse every single day. I jumped through hoops, then I fought for counseling. I fought for help.
Well, do you think you would benefit from some help and support where you had a chance to really give a voice to some of these feelings you deal with?
I just want my daughter to be better. I don't care what it takes. I just want my family to be better.
Well, I'm offering you some help and support with this yourself, so when she emerges from this in a different place, that you'll be able to meet her on a different plane.
Definitely.
And so I'm offering you that help if you want it, and I hope you take it, because I want you to be able to meet her on a different plane.
I want my family. I don't want my
So
family.
I'm offering you that help. Will you take it?
Sure.
Because I'm offering you that help. I wanted to see what you at home think about teens making their personal lives public. So we asked on drphil.com, do you think young adults share too much about themselves on social media? Results? 96% yes, 4% no. Surprise, surprise. Listen, I want to thank all of my guests today. A special thanks to Kathleen Parrish and the Cottonwood Treatment Center and their outstanding ability to help young adults struggling with trauma. You can learn more about them by going to their website, and we're going to have a link on drphil.com as well. We'll see you all next time. Thank you so much.
I am grateful for Dr. Phill because I hope he talked some sense into my mother. He also, was able to see my side of the story. He really did understand that this isn't the lifestyle that I chose, that after being traumatized, it's hard to just jump back into the way of life.
I love Hope, but she's not the only victim.
My mom's always only cared about herself, her money, and how she's gonna survive. But when it comes down to it, she doesn't really care about how I'm surviving. The plane ride back is going to be bad because my mother is probably either going to be crying the whole time or cussing me out the whole time.
I was a good mom. I did the best that I could by my child. If she wasn't willing to accept my help or anybody's help, that wasn't my fault. I came here because this was the first time that she wanted to share her story. I just didn't know she was going to manipulate